Welcome to Clean Cut Conversations, the podcast for exceptional Southern Black men. Join us as we delve into vital topics, including mental health, relationships, finance, self-care, and entrepreneurship. Welcome to Clean Cut Conversations, the podcast for exceptional Southern Black men. I'm your host, Josh Levitt, with my co-host,
Royce Massengill, baby.
And today we have a special guest in the building, Mr. Rayshawon Hardy from the Kingdom Consulting Firm, LLC.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And today we'll be covering the topics of overcoming challenges, integrating faith in business, career insights, and effective social media management, where Rayshawon will tell you certain things he does, certain structures, certain arrangements, and all that good stuff. But anyways, without further ado, let me go ahead and introduce Mr. Rayshawon Hardy, bro. How you doing, bro?
Man, I'm doing great. How y'all doing, man?
What it do, man?
Listen, I'm excited to be here. I can't wait to get on this podcast and talk with y'all guys.
Already, man.
Already.
Accent's already bleeding through. So.
Oh, man, don't tell my wife that. She's going to tell you I don't got an accent.
you got to let know what's good, man.
Yeah, so I'm from New York City, born in Brooklyn, raised in Queens and Brooklyn, back and forth, all through the city, back and forth from down south to New York, though. I got my family's from the south. They're from Alabama, Mississippi, and Nashville.
Okay, so let me ask you, what about upcoming projects? Do you have any?
Yes, I'm actually working. We just got a new client. It's an upcoming church in Murfreesboro, so we're working on a project with them to manage their social media page, do some content creation with them. So I think this is a great project that we're working on because, again, they're up and coming, and we actually rebranding our business going full-time into social media management.
Can you speak on what church that is? Like, is it, because I saw one being built on the way on Church Street, actually.
This one is in a square. It's called Family of Faith Ministry. So,
okay.
Again, up-and-coming church, I think is a cool place we've been up there to shoot some content, but it's a cool place to worship if anybody want to worship there as well.
Shout out to Family of Faith.
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow. What about any real estate?
Real estate,
agents?
Yeah. I have a couple of real estate agents. Real estate investor, Mr. Flippy. Shout out to him. You know, that's my guy.
Shout out,
Yep.
Mr. Will.
And we work with a realtor. She's out in St. Louis, so yeah, we do her content. My wife do the editing for her. We're her content creation team. So she sends us all her content. We create it for her, send it back to us. She drop it on her Facebook page, which been amazing. She's been getting great results.
Nice. So you work remotely too?
Yes, we work remotely.
So you haven't met this person in person?
Nope, haven't met her in person yet either.
Times have changed, man.
I
know.
It was a crazy connection too, because she was on my Facebook page. I'm on my Instagram page, and she was just going through it, liking some posts. So I looked through her page, seeing she was family oriented. Yeah. And I said, hey, shout out to you and your family, our beautiful family, this and that. And then she said, hey, I want to reach out to you, talk about solar, because I do solar energy as well.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Okay.
You're on like a California kick almost, because they're all about solar energy.
Yeah, that's real.
Wow. So I think it's an industry that's actually growing. So I had a great opportunity to be a part of something like that.
Right.
And she was also joining the same company I work with to be partnered with them. So she asked me a few questions, and then she was noticing my Instagram page. She asked what else we do, and I told her.
Yeah.
And we just getting started. And then she was like, hey, let's see if we could work together. Let's do a trial period. And we still been locked in with her.
Oh, nice. So would you say that Instagram is your main resume online? Because people do LinkedIn, they do Facebook. You still do Facebook. But anyways, LinkedIn, Instagram. I think some people even say Snapchat.
Yeah, I didn't use Snapchat. I've been trying to get back on it, but it's just like,
I can't.
I don't like when you take a picture or do a video and it disappears.
Just gone.
Yeah, that's what.
There's no evidence.
Some stuff I may want to keep. Little shawty might have, that's another story. But, I may want to keep something. Disappears.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So without further ado, let's talk about like your origins, like what got you into all of this. Because, you coming from New York, man. Yeah. And I noticed that a lot of people from up north is coming down here to operate businesses and such. Such as your upbringings, like, let me ask you something. Who has been the most inspirational person during that whole process with your business, your just overall your family life, personal life, all that?
Man, I'm gonna say my pops, man.
Shout out to
my pops. Like, when I when I was younger, well, I don't want to say I wasn't too young, probably like 17, 18. You know, I ended up moving in with him. My dad been in and out the system as far as prison too as well.
Gotcha.
But he always been in my life, so you know that's why I said shout out to him. And
that's good.
That is.
So
wow.
Hold on to that.
So once you know, I started getting older, he started teaching me about like credit, getting your finances in order, you know, and I've always been good at saving. That's one thing, you know, but then he just started teaching me about credit. But at that time I was like not interested in it because it was like also when I was living with him, I was, you know, getting money. I was selling drugs. So so it was just like, so but you know, that was a seed. Like I told him, me and him spoke. I told him that was a seed he planted in me. Teaching me about that. So
while incarcerated. While incarcerated.
Well, this is this is like what once he got older, you know, he's out.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so then I ended up moving with him because my mom, she moved to Alabama.
Okay.
And I really didn't I didn't like when I got in trouble, you got to go to this White House. And you got to sit and look at a white wall all day. So I was like, I'm gone.
So you kind of had a Boys in the Hood effect where you went to go live with Pops. Because, you know, with the Pops and Boys in the Hood, you know, he was installing that knowledge, you know, to stay out. That's real.
So that was great.
So let me ask you something. Like, I've mentioned this in a couple of episodes about getting or being released from prison or jail, right?
Yeah.
After being released and your father decided to take a turn in life, a positive turn, do you feel that he was more aggressive and assertive? Not to say he wasn't, but when it comes to being positive and making yourself a asset or an asset to society, like what was his mindset? Because when you get out, I used to work in corrections.
Oh, okay.
And I know this.
Yeah.
So from firsthand experience. So I'm just I'm asking you, like, when it comes to like coming out the system, did your dad have a confidence in starting businesses and teaching you about finance and all that?
Yes, sir. My dad was always confident in everything that he does. So
before
too. So in everything he does, he was confident. You know, no matter what it was, he brung his best. He brung 120%.
Wow.
So, you know, I was able, you know, when he was living in the city, he had got a job working in Manhattan, and we was able to hang out with Spike Lee, things like that. Because the building he worked in, a lot of celebrities, you know, had their offices up in there, and they did business in there. So that was pretty cool experience. I think he worked for like what you call a travel agent, a company. So so you know, and it was like said right in the middle of Manhattan. So get to meet a lot of celebrities. So it was pretty cool. Spike Lee's actually a cool dude when you meet him, man.
Shout out to Spike, 40 Acres and a Mule.
Come on now.
I know. So let me ask you this too. Like when it comes to the New York hustle, and now you're down south, the Southern hustle, is that a shock to you?
Nah, like I said, I grew up back and forth, so I'm used to the South. So even I'm gonna be transparent. When I got locked up out here, you know, a lot of people was like, "Yeah, now you in the South and this and that." I said, "Man, this ain't the South." I grew up in Alabama in a small town too. It's called Jackson, Alabama.
Yeah,
that's the country. Like that's the sticks. And I'm like, this ain't the South, man. Well, yeah. I told them, I said, I don't know what the South is. Like, so for me, you know, and being in this area between the Nashville Murfreesboro area, it's actually a great opportunity. And seeing how quick Nashville growing and knowing Murfreesboro is one of the fastest growing counties in the country, actually. So
they just need to fix their travel system, man. It's terrible. Like New York, at least y'all have subways.
Yeah.
And everything, when I was up there, everything you had, I guess when you wanted to transport yourself, it was just everybody was walking. So, you know, it was hard for a person to be out of shape.
Yeah.
You really had to, eat them jelly sandwiches. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really had to sit there and eat all that. But yeah, let's talk about, like, so were there any, like, social or geographical factors that you felt hindered your journey to becoming a successful individual? We know that you said you were locked up. You don't have to get into detail on that.
Yeah.
But they say studies show that socioeconomic and geographic factors can significantly impact career opportunities and success. Do you feel that affected you in a sense, like those factors?
Yeah, I could say that. You know, being a product of your environment, you know, being around, you know, certain people with different mindsets. So it's honestly a mindset thing. Because even when when I got out of, I was in Rikers Island.
Oh no!
Yeah,
that's like one of the roughest.
Yes,
dang, brother.
Bruh, that's they said Rikers Island,
Yeah.
bro. That's like damn near Guantanamo.
Facts.
Yeah, right. Like
They got the red sirens. They go off every 5 minutes. That's telling you somebody got stabbed up or something really bad happened. So, but coming from there, I didn't finish high school. I was like, when I moved down to Alabama, they put me like back in the 9th grade. That was crazy. So yeah, so
and how old?
I was 17 by then. So
Shame on the South. What we doing?
Whoa. In the South, they put you back.
Yes, in the South.
Why though? Because the curriculum up north, I'm gonna be honest, they're advanced.
That's why they said I was like, oh, it was weird, but honestly, it was 2 parts. Small town.
Yeah.
Our family, the principal knew our family, really didn't like them. So
yeah,
I think there's a lot of politics in that. So yeah. So fast forward though, right? Okay. I got my GED, right?
Here we go.
I went to after I got out of Rikers Island, I went to this college called LaGuardia. They had a GED program. Ended up getting my GED from there. Took a couple tries because I suck in math, but that's here and there. But I think I was going to take the last part of my math test, and there was another dude whose name was Rayshawon, and he got hired for the program to work as a counselor.
What?
But he never showed up, and it was a new lady who got hired, and she called me, and then they brought me in the office, and shout out to Mr. John. He said, "Hey, this is not the right Rayshawon," but then he said, "You want a job?" And I was like, "A job for what?" He was like, "To be a counselor." I said, "I ain't got no degree right now." He was like, "Well, you gonna work on that, right?"
Yeah.
I said, "Yes." And then he said, "All right, you hired."
Man, divine intervention.
So from there, it was like, just being around them, and that, and around people that like to truly that wanted to see you grow. It was good. I seen a lot of things. I seen the opposite side of the prison system because they would send me in to go work in there and tell my testimony basically to the kids at the time. So I wasn't walking in my faith now, but because I grew up in Islam and Christianity. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Same
So
time.
and I was gangbanging. So
no.
So
bro, you got a story, bro.
Yeah. So a lot of
he would have been an armed Muslim.
Yo.
Yeah, Malcolm X would have hit you up.
Facts.
Farrakhan, all that. Wow. So, like, since you're talking about religion and spirituality, like, based on your profile, because, I do my investigation.
Yeah.
But it's clear that religion and spirituality play a significant role in your life, right?
Yeah.
So, can you tell us why these are important to you?
Well, I'm going to be transparent. I wouldn't say so much of the religion aspect, but it's my relationship I have with the Most High God.
Gotcha.
So, I think religion is some of the things that enslaved our people.
Okay.
And I think it's about truly building a relationship with God yourself. So that's what helped me with my faith, because when like I said, told you, when I was locked up, I asked God, I said, "Hey, what is the true way? Is it Islam or is it Christianity?" Because I grew up in both. And he pointed me to the scripture. It's about having a relationship with him. And that scripture is John 14:6. "I'm the truth, the way, and the life. No man coming to the Father but through me." Come on. So
come on now.
So you gotta think about that. Even Christ or Yeshua, I like to say, he didn't point you to a religion. He points you to a relationship with the Father.
See, and that's crazy.
It
is very simple.
It's very simple.
Because it's crazy because the Bible consists of many stories. And they have each person had different relationships, whether it was with Jesus or whether it was with God. But it all came together. You know what I'm saying? Everybody walks a different path.
That's it.
And your spirituality is your relationship with your God.
Amen. That's it. I like that.
So I got something to tag to that. So when we're talking about religion and spirituality, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, with the business that you have now, you know what I'm saying? Or, you're helping promote, other businesses and stuff like that. What you say, PR, personal or public relationships with people. How do you vet, like, okay, your relationship, as you would say, with Yah, like your relationship with that, how does that kind of complicate things with people who may not be in alignment spiritually, that want their business promoted? You know what I'm saying? They may be on a different path, or their content may not be of which you worship, right? Do you have a conflict with that? Do you vet those? Have you ever shot somebody down that needed your services?
Well, before the answer to that, though, they do say that in recent data, because he was talking about being transparent. 61% of consumers appreciate brands that are transparent about their values. But it's crucial to balance this when you try to include them. And it's funny how he says, "I'm going to be transparent."
Right.
With religion, with everything.
Yeah.
Incarceration. I'm gonna be transparent.
So in other words, you don't have a problem with people who.
No problem.
Okay. So because there are some people out there, bro. Like, and I've dealt with a person personally that. If you weren't down, you know what I'm saying, with God, then I'm not going to give you some business. And I always felt like that was like, well, why would you do that? Because I mean, I don't think God would push away somebody that would want, you know what I'm saying? Because maybe that business that comes to you sees that light through you.
Yeah, come on,
without
brother.
you being like saying, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that. Brother. Your light will probably influence them later on down the road. You feel me? Like, oh, this man accepted me for who I was. So, I mean, that makes sense.
And that's the key right there. You just hit something. See, people like that, that's what I talk about, the religious mindset.
Yeah.
That's who Christ had a problem with, right?
Right.
The Pharisees and Sadducees.
Yeah.
Why your rabbi over there saying with the thugs and gangbangers, harlots and all that?
Yeah,
why?
Yeah.
Yeah, so because y'all supposed to be doing it and y'all ain't. So I got to come and do it.
Yeah.
So how are we supposed to be a light to people? Like I said, if you're being religious and you're missing out on the point.
Yeah.
I can't control the way people act.
Yeah.
But I could come in and be the light, right?
That's real.
The only way for me to shine is to shine in darkness.
That's it, man. You can't be sitting there holding the light
for
everybody else.
Right. And I'm not here to point and condemn people either. Oh, what y'all doing? That's not.
Yeah.
Because growing up, that's the experience I had in church.
Same here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell y'all, the church isn't in the building.
Come on, brother.
The church is outside of the building.
Come on.
Yes. And that's what you have to remember. You are the person to carry the light. And you have to fulfill yourself, to fulfill your destiny. You have to be the person to go out there and provide light for others.
Come on, Reverend Lovett.
Look at you preaching over here.
Look. It's Sunday. It is Sunday. Sunday, man. It's crazy. So, like, speaking of, like, your Islamic, like, faith. And like, because Malcolm, because you're deep into it, I'm sure. You locked in.
Yes,
because, like, my doctor's kind of like that. It's either you're in or you're out. And he comes from overseas, And I guess when it comes to Malcolm X, right? He went to Mecca, right?
Yeah.
And he saw white Islamic people, white Muslims. He saw maybe Asian Muslims. He saw a variety of Muslims. But when he came here, he just saw the black ones. Now, to me, when you involve yourself in that certain group, do you feel that you can kind of see where Malcolm was coming from, it being inclusive? Because to me, when I think of Islamic, I think of black. I don't, and I, that's the way it's painted in America. You know what I'm saying? But what's your perspective on that?
Grew up in New York City.
Right.
You see all kinds of Islamic people.
Right. On the corner.
Exactly.
Selling sex.
All the corner store, the Arabs, they Muslim. So it's like you growing up, it's not nothing out of the norm to see that. So I could feel where once Malcolm X went overseas and he understood, the culture. And then, but what truly Malcolm X started to understand his identity, his nationality. He understand it wasn't religious no more. This is like, he understood he was an Israelite, to be honest. He did that message, we are the lost sheep. So obviously something hit him. And then he realized too, it wasn't about your nationality. It's a relationship. With whoever you say your God is, it's just your relationship with that. And he understood that, and going over there opened up his mind to expand it, like he said, because I think Malcolm X grew up in Detroit or something like that. So
and Detroit Red.
Yep. And then I read his book.
Me too.
And then he ended up going to New York, Harlem. So his mind started to open up, and he realized, man, this ain't just a our thing. This ain't just a Nation of Islam thing. This is a culture of other vibrant people.
Right.
Yep. So that's what it was with Malcolm X.
So are certain practices up north different than the South?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, explain, please.
So what? Depending on the practices, like you talking about as far as religion,
like
or something
a northern,
like that.
Southern.
What's the difference between a northern and a southern Muslim?
Yeah.
Northern and what's that?
Some northern and southern black Muslim.
Oh, it's because I think what it is just like a lot of northerners. We understood, we could break bread with the ox, with the Arabs and this and that. So when you come down here, like it's just like more inclusive with the blacks, and knowing that there are Arabs down here as well, But a lot of times the black is just inclusive with themselves instead of
That's true.
understanding that religion.
Yeah.
And knowing that it's not just it's black, white, yellow, Chinese. You got all kinds of Muslims. Same way in Christianity.
Yeah.
You got black, white, yellow. It's not just the Southern Baptist, this and that. No, you got to remember, if you're a part of the body of Christ, it shouldn't be, whether you south, north, west. It's just, hey, that's what you're part of. Yeah. We should be able to come together.
Wow, it's just funny how they just took racism and intertwined that with religion.
Come on.
Because up north, it's everybody. It's diverse. But when you come down here, it's always a black and white issue.
Yes.
It's like, dude, it can be Asian. We can all be inclusive together. It's your spirituality with God. That's all that matters. And to me, it's crazy that the South, to me, is driven by black and white affairs. Hispanic people ain't worried about us. Ain't worried about the situation. They building. Asians, they building. They about to have a Chinatown up in Nashville. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
like
true.
We over here still fighting each other.
Yeah,
black
Texas
and white.
Got all of Nolensville Road took care of.
God, dog.
Can black folks get Bell Road?
Come on.
That's another story.
Do we want Bell Road?
Yeah.
We need Bell Road. If they got Nolensville, we need Bell Road.
There's a lot of deaths on that.
Kind of change that,
Hey, you trying to get? I don't know about that, but anyway. So let me ask you on your career path, like.
Yes, sir.
Did you always envision yourself working in PR, mass communications, or was there a pivotal moment that led you down this path?
Yes, it was a pivotal moment working at the college that actually led me down here. I always wanted to go into entrepreneurship, but I never knew I liked communication, speaking to people, things like that, till I worked at the college. They threw me in fire, bro.
Oh, dang.
The first day, bro. So you got to do the... you got to do the introduction when the students come in at the beginning of the school year.
Right.
So they just said, Rayshawon, this is you. And
I can see that.
Yep, I'm on the board. Literally, I'm on the board sweating.
Yeah.
And the kids seen it too. They was laughing and stuff like that, and they knew. So then by the time I finished, I'm like, man, all the staff is laughing at me, but I said, man, this felt good. And right there, it just set a fire in me. And then that's when they was like, hey, do you want to go inside of Rikers to speak to the speak to the youth and this and that and this and that? I said, no problem. I have no problem doing that. Yeah. But at the same time though, too, I wanted a positive outcome for people, but I know the influence I had in the game.
So you were already PRing for clubs. You mentioned off air, you were like, man, I was PRing for clubs at like 9 or like young.
About 15, 16.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
15, 16. Daggum.
Yep.
That's PR right there, but on foot.
Yep.
Like he developed his mass communication skills.
Yeah. You already have.
Yeah.
You had to being in New York. You got to holler at folks on foot, real quick.
And I want to say shout out to my foster brother, man, because he was doing promotions and stuff. So he used to do like promotions for Wu-Tang and things like that.
Okay.
So and then we was on his street team. He had a little street team. We go put the stickers on the street lights and on the buildings, promoting Wu-Tang next album and things like that. So that also too led me to getting where I'm at. And I just spoke to him not too long ago. He was like, man, you doing everything, I taught you when we was growing up. So shout out to him for that.
Oh,
that's
man.
What's up, man.
Yeah.
I think that.
Wow. So as someone who grew up in an era of face-to-face interactions, us, like I was in the 80s, you know what I'm saying? 80s, baby, 88.
Yo, 88, come on, man.
So what inspired you to dive into the world of social media management?
Because growing up, once we got, I guess, maybe teenage years, that's when... No, probably right before my teen years when, what was it? MySpace.
MySpace.
Right. So, that MySpace. Yeah. So, just being a part of that trend with that, and then now knowing that like we're like in the middle, like what we Gen Zs they call us or something like that.
Right.
So still millennials.
Yeah, millennials.
Gen Z.
Yeah, that's what I said. We
okay.
Yeah, we millennials. You're right. We're millennials. So being in that area where we could reach the youngers, Gen Zs, this and that, but we could also reach the older people and give them an understanding where they won't mind, because a lot of the older people they don't like talking to the younger people.
Right.
So
middle child.
we the middle, so we get to show them, hey, the importance, of social media to transition it over to your business, because I tell people it's basically a free platform where you can market now.
Right, right.
So you got a chance where you can market. You could use it for your profile picture, your profile photos, videos, this and that, where people could just go, hey, go to Clean Cuts, go to my Instagram Clean Cuts to see the work I did.
Gotcha.
So that saves people a lot of time. So I think social media, that's what got me on it. And I used to have a lot of followers because a lot of my friends and stuff, they rappers and stuff like that.
Nice.
Yep. So I just love social media, man. I said, might as well utilize it the right way, make some money doing it and having fun. Yep.
Wow, because I know a lot of people became content creators. Some, we're gonna use our black counterparts. We're gonna use our black counterparts, white, and then everybody. When it came to the George Floyd, hell, it launched yours.
It
launched
did.
your career. It did.
That's a whole new story.
That is a whole new story. He was not heading in that direction intentionally.
Wow. Not at all. Yeah.
Wow.
I was just going to get some green, bro.
I was just going.
We'll just leave it at that. And God had another way, man.
Yeah.
And I've been fighting for the longest, but I mean, I'm slick kind of back in it while incorporating still my own individual thoughts, though. But yeah,
and I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
I got a question for
I'm
that.
happy he's happy.
Where was the greens from? You was again Memphis?
Nah, right here in the borough.
Okay.
Shout out to my plug.
I heard about the Memphis greens.
I didn't end up getting it though.
Okay.
I didn't end up getting it, and it was I just had a natural high that day.
Yeah, you got the biggest high ever.
The way it turned out, I'll tell you off screen though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, so like let me throw this stat out here, right? So it's saying that over 5.2 billion people are active on social media users.
Yes, sir.
In 2024, emphasizing the platform's growing significance in communication. So with that stated, starting a management service for social media, that is a bold move. You know what I'm saying? So who or what inspired the business plan for Kingdom Consulting Firm, LLC? Yeah. And how did you turn that inspiration into reality?
Man, that's a great question. But I want to say it was something my wife, she said God told her we're going to be entrepreneurs. I didn't accept it because, like I said, I had a decent job coming out of jail. I was supposed to have the job. I miraculously passed the background check. I tried to put my friend on. He didn't pass it. They moved me up to a manager, so I'm like, nah. And then we had a sister of ours where we was playing at church. She has an event space. And she was like, she called me Rashad. I know my name was Rayshawon, but she called me, she from Memphis. So she was like, brother Rashad, you a marketer. I'm like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
Wow. She said, you're a marketer. And I said, man, we got to get you to unlock your prophetic gift. So this has been almost 2 years ago. And now, like you said, we made a bold. So the business started as supposed to be a consulting firm, business consultant, and we do business financing as well.
Okay.
Yep. So, but I was trying to work in our community, with businesses 5 years and under to help them, make sure that they get established the right way so I can help them set up the difference between their personal and business account.
Yeah.
Because I tell them it's not that you can't get the funding. Your account is usually set up wrong. And they're not looking at your personal, they're looking at your business. So they're not even looking at you. So it's not really a skin color. It's just you got to set your stuff up properly.
Right.
Yeah, okay. So we went into that. But then, like I said, that word of, y'all marketers. And then when my wife spoke when we was doing something, we were setting up a catering company, and when we was doing something with them, the assistant engineer was like, hey, Danita's a marketer too. She said, I would have bought the food if y'all had the food right here.
Yeah.
Wow.
So me and my wife, I realized, and she's very good doing like flyers, video. She do most of the video edits. Yup. So
you were getting some behind the scenes footage. She's like, are you filming me?
Yeah,
like, she had that look.
Yup, but she's good at. She's the one who's really great at that. So I said, I'm more of the marketer, going out, getting the clients, bringing connections together. So I said, you know what? I know my wife. I know how to like utilize her in a way where it won't feel like, hey, like you got to do this, but to make her walk in her purpose.
Yeah.
So that's how this came up. And I'm like, again, the solar energy company I'm partnered with, they wanted us to manage their page because they liked the videos me and my wife did. And they had a tool, and I noticed with that tool, you could manage different brands.
Okay.
So I said, what can you do with this? And social media management pop up. And like you said, me being who I am, I step out on faith and everything.
Yeah.
I said, hey, baby, I found something. We could do social media page. Management. So I invested in the tool. I paid because they was letting me use a free one.
Yeah.
So I bought my own tool for it, my own system. And I said, hey, I'm going to just tell people we social media managers. And we're just going to rebrand.
Nice. She inspired you, and it's crazy because you were settled on a 9-to-5 job.
Exactly.
And for her to be like, nah, baby, we're going to take a risk.
Yep.
Like, that is a partner.
Yep.
That is a partner because most women seek security, financial security.
Come on.
You know, and her to say, hey, let's take a chance.
Yep.
Knowing that you have a record.
Yep. Come on.
And then she's like, we're going to do it. To me, that's a powerful couple because she's going to always search for something larger and greater. Yeah.
Yes,
she
sir.
could be like, get a job and I'll go do it. But no, she said, quit that job. We'll go do it.
Come on.
That's very inspiring for your significant other to say that. Like
that is.
You be ready to, you know what, I'm quitting today, man.
You know.
And it was crazy how it happened though, because it was steps, baby steps, because the job I had, COVID came, but then I ended up, it was another job that I was hiring. It was called DTG, where you do the clothes printing thing.
Yeah.
And they was paying more. I'm like, okay. So I stepped out on that. And then, I realized it was just what they was paying was for the season.
Right.
So then it went back to the regular pay, which wasn't bad because they always had overtime. So it was cool. But I'm like, who want to work this many hours? Like, then I ended up leaving there, getting a job doing, it was like landscaping. I basically go out and just spray people yards for the pesticides, make sure everything's cool. The job was called Lawn Wise.
Gotcha.
Then I ended up losing that job. Me and the manager, we spoke though, because I told him he asked about my record. I told him about it or whatever. And he was like, I'm going to talk to the uppers and see what, but he said, get your money while you can.
That's right.
And I would show up every day on time. And on time for me is like getting there 30 to an hour prior.
It goes back to this question. People, let me ask y'all something.
Come on.
And you can answer this too.
Yes, sir.
If you had a choice to hire somebody, would you hire an American felon or would you hire an illegal immigrant at that? Let me know in the comments. I mean, like, to me, it's like they're quick to hire upper management. Some are quick to hire illegal immigrants than hire their own felons that are citizens.
Right.
So it's hard. There is no restitution in this system.
Yes.
Right.
Justice may be served, but you are now a liability. Assad has a liability in a lot of people's eyes, and that's sad. That's sad. And to me, it's like, no, like, if they had systems to where you were building houses, not picking up cans.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? Not doing anything, slamming license plates if they still do that. You know what I'm saying? You are actually doing their jobs because you're not getting paid a lot.
Yes, sir.
But you're serving your time, right?
Yes, sir.
So when you come out, you already got experience in something that's needed.
That's real.
Infrastructure.
And I think they need to focus more on American felons because with the legal immigrants, you really don't know what you're getting though. Like, what records of them do you have? Because they're not going to tell you what they over here for.
Exactly.
Facts.
It's kind of like Scarface. They sending all the people on the banana boats, and they're political prisoners, but they probably blew up some issues.
And I'm not trying to be political right
out.
now, but I'm gonna say this, like, Ukrainian. So she told me, I was doing some research, right? Lexa told me, and she said $5 billion was given to Ukrainian for films.
Yeah.
And I'm like, $5 billion? Where's this money coming from? That's like with Kamala and her. Where did the millions of dollars come from? Like, all of a sudden, these frats had all this money, and it's like, no offense, like, vote for who you want to vote for.
We didn't have the money. It's just who we give it to.
Yes, come on.
That's all it was. I'm frat off the back. We got money. It's just who we want to give it to.
Come on. And
that's why I don't go for that boule stuff. Like, I pledge, but I'm not bound. I'm actually denounced on myself. You feel me?
Okay. So you didn't pay your dues.
I stopped.
You didn't get denounced. You just didn't pay your dues.
No. You don't want to call it. But, I don't claim it as they think that you should, because it's just the values are all whack for me. You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
As you were saying, yeah. Where they get this money from us? Why are they giving all that money to Ukraine? Come on now. There's definitely a benefit in that. If they're going to give that much money, what are they getting back?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Invest in your American people.
Come on.
That's what Pharrell said.
Yeah.
In the next few years, he says everybody needs to start their businesses.
Come on.
And get their credit up. It's because it's going to be needed. Now, he said that on social media. Yeah. I don't know why, but Pharrell's been in the game. He's created Minions. He's created work with Pixar. He's done all this stuff. Yeah. He's a little weird. I love him though. But I kind of listen to the dude. Yeah. You know, he's made a way. Hell, you created Minions, bro. Yeah. Like,
and he don't speak much. No. But when he does, it makes sense though. It does. Do it while you do it now.
Do it now.
So let me ask you something, Rayshawon. Back to the social media management. Like, we all know that consistency is key in social media, but it's easier said than done.
Yeah, that's exactly what they said.
Done.
What do you do that? What was the
question? Done. How do you manage to stay consistent with your content planning and posting schedule?
Yes.
Are there any tips or tools? Is because it says that according to the data, brands with consistent posting see a 30% increase in engagement rates.
Yes, sir.
Do you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
And why?
Yes, sir. Again, key thing, consistency, right? So also, too, having a tool is very important. So the tool I use, we have a content calendar in there. So we get to schedule everything out for the month. We could come up and create a strategy plan for the month or months out ahead of time and things like that. And then coming up with content is really not hard. Everything is content. Yeah. Just turn on the camera and do something. Give some value or something. You know, you got that what they call edutainment. You get the edge. There's so many ways, but just turn on your camera, give some value on whatever you're doing. Whatever your faith is as well. Encourage people, give some hope. So anything is content. You got. Record you tripping or something so
there'll be some crazy
I try to get this guy over here to read books because some of those books aren't on Audible, like, you know, and they need to be read. Like, I'm sure Dr. Umar's book needs to be read, but his book costs $207.
I mean, he got to build that school.
You see enough of his stuff you felt like you read a book though.
But you still need to, so you wouldn't read it for Dr. Umar?
You asking, have I read a Dr. Umar book?
Would you have read it, the book, like for other people online on a YouTube and be like, here you go?
Oh, would I read it for them? Yeah, probably not. Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, I'm just keeping it real.
But he's talking about creating value, though, man. That's
he's created enough value for 10 years, man.
$207. You are saving us. We love you, Dr. Umar, but that is expensive for a book. Like,
yeah, I mean, that's why I didn't buy it, because it's like he already said what he has in the book already. If you listen to him, like out of the 10 years, 14 years he's been online, everything that's in that book, especially about the psychological warfare with the black child.
Yes,
man, he been saying it for 14 years, bro. That's in his book.
But still, reading the book has data to support the information. He ain't
stuff that he says online. I regurgitate that, and then I can go research it. You can go look it up.
But no, it's about creating value.
He created value by going online too.
I
didn't have to get the book to understand what he's saying.
We'll get the book.
And I donated $5.
And I
told him about that already.
That shit went on a urinal. But anyway. So, like, let me go ahead and say this, man. Like, so this is the last question in the social media management. Like, so in the fast-paced world of social media, trends change rapidly. Like, how do you stay ahead of the curve and keep your content fresh and relevant, though? I know you say turn on the camera, but do you actually devise a plan sometimes?
Sometimes no, because you are the content. Just be the content. Just you. You the content. You don't have to devise a plan if you just be you.
And there's the conflict that I've had with plenty of people, because I've always been a believer in why would you need to program yourself to be, like you say, if you're being yourself, that's content enough.
Yep.
Because social media content is constantly changing. Look, Hot Tula is damn near a millionaire now.
Please don't talk about that.
Hot Tula,
that's her content, though, right? She didn't strategize that, you know. And it was in our town right here is where it started, right?
Wow.
Right here in Nashville. Yeah. So it's like it's she was being herself. So that it's not like she planned to say,
she got a show now.
Yeah, she got a show.
Well, Bill Maher was on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said, hold on.
You see that? So it makes sense to what he's saying, but like, there's no reason to plan on being yourself.
Well, what about Bobby? The one she took, Funny Marco's whole.
I mean, like I said,
she ain't. Is she being herself? Because I see two different. People said there are two different people.
Hey, you know,
or was
if being
talked
yourself,
to an industry plant eventually. They were like, "Hey, you're the Bobby we need."
but I wouldn't say she's the industry plant, but they just took advantage of her. I don't know. She's just saying what she was saying. They probably made her one. Now with Bobby, I definitely believe that she's a plant because I mean she is one. She just be standing there like one, just dull, right, and just whatever. But she, you see, if you look at her history, you know, producers and stuff like that, uncles and all that, and you know, being in the Jewish line and stuff like that, Jewish on the media, there's a whole deep thing within that, and that's why Drake only messed with her, and that's why Drake didn't go to Marco. That's a whole other story though. But see, back to what he said about being you, the content, like, yeah, I've always used to fight myself to be like, man, I gotta be a certain way. But then deep down inside, I'm like, no, man, like I really just need to talk my ish because I used to fight between politics and poo nanny. Like, am I gonna talk about these O's out here, or I'm gonna talk about what's going on in the real world? I said, you know what? I can mix both of them because there are some O's up in the politics.
It is.
You feel me? And so I'm starting to learn that more and really just not really care, like, because I have my family, I have my people, my circle. You know what I'm saying? I can count them on my hand. And I spent too much time worrying about people outside of my hand on what they may think about what I'm saying. And if they're not contributing to for me being a better person, then why should I care about how they receive what I say? So yeah, be you.
That's it.
Shout out to Shorty on that too.
Yep.
So let me ask you something, bro. I'm gonna ask you this.
Okay.
So like, you preach independence.
Yes.
Independent channels.
Yes.
Independent works. Independent politicians. Now.
Yes.
My thing is, well, why were you juggling Republican and Democrat? Because their way of thinking
at the time. What do you mean juggling?
Yeah, I'm just. Well, you were juggling. We didn't know what side. You said Purple Party. I'm like, wouldn't that be independent?
Yeah,
but you never put no independent people on the ballot for you to protect.
But see, here's what you got to understand though. In order to be independent, you have to know both sides. You would have to know both sides of the fence to know, okay, I like a little bit of this, I like a little bit of that, but I'm right there in the middle of saying, no, being independent is you're able to take something good from both sides,
which
and
that's
then,
what they're
apply
doing.
That. But see, but what they're doing is they're taking only from one side and applying it. Because they may know something might make sense on the right side. And the right may know something makes sense on the left side, but they won't do it because they're loyal to the right side.
I don't know, man. I don't know about that.
I mean,
I just feel, well, no, on that, because like I mentioned before, if every politician had one amount, had a certain amount of money, if $30,000, I know that's real low, but $30,000 per politician to do marketing, promoting during their campaign, we will see who wins. Because it's always overnight. Kamala, how many million?
About 40 million.
Overnight. And I'm thinking, we're sitting there complaining and juggling Trump and her, but we're not even considered Robert F. Kennedy, another one.
That's an independent.
Yes, and Cornel West.
Yeah, independent.
And there's some others, but those two, Robert
so what's
F.
the
Kennedy,
problem with their independence?
Well, nothing. It's just to me that they're running, but they don't get the right exposure.
It's not their fault. It's the people's fault.
It's the people's fault, but that's what I'm saying. But juggling the two, to me, knowing that they got the answer and how you think, I'd be pushing my platform towards them.
Well, see, here's the thing, though. No, that's true. That's true. But here, my strategy is this. If I tell somebody to vote independent, they're going to ask why, right? And here's the reason why. I'm going to tell you why is because the best way to tell them why is to tell them that where you're at is not where you want to be. So if you don't need to be on the left and you don't need to be on the right, common sense to tell you need to think for yourself.
But that never happens.
You will find those people. But see, then it's the hard part though. I never say independent was going to be easy. Because as he spoke of with Jesus, you know what I'm saying? He was independent. You feel me? Now here's the thing. You have to point out, like you're saying, what Republicans, what they doing wrong, what Democrats and what they're doing wrong, right?
Right.
If you have that information, knowing that these both sides are doing pretty much the same thing, the same bird, two different wings, common sense, like I said, should tell you to do that, but they can't do it because what we're facing right now is a spiritual warfare, people are battling that right now of knowing what's right, but they won't do it. I can't make nobody do right. I can tell them what's wrong. But then that's what they get mad at me about. Like, how you going to talk about Kamala and all this stuff like that? I'm just telling you, I'm giving you facts right here on this is a lie, what she just said. This is a lie. I'm putting it right here. She's saying that. But black people and people in general still stay loyal to the lie. It's not my fault. I'm just going to tell you what's happening is wrong. And that's it. That's it. And they've asked me, what you doing? I'm voting independent.
Okay.
That's it.
But do you feel that people, the reason why they are subjected to go Democrat and Republican, right, is because they don't feel inclusive with the independent speakers.
Man,
because, but just think about it, their families voted Democrat, so it's a generational thing. Because it's a historical.
We're indoctrinated, bro.
But at the same token, like today is a free world now. You can go search the information.
Yeah.
But the key is, once again, is developing a relationship with that certain party. And you got the information, right? And you know the people. All I'm saying is, why not present those people beforehand, being like, this is where I get my information from. I know them two have balanced out the best they could. But the key is people have to see that happen. We already know in the House they're going to reject every bill. The Democrats and Republicans. But it's going to be a cool thing, no?
Yeah.
It's going to be a cool thing when we see them work together to try to take this independent out. Because I'm going to be like, in the end, well, y'all could work together.
So you're trying to tell me that the work that I and other constituents have done in the last 4 years was an independent situation. We didn't lean to the left or we didn't lean to the right. You're trying to say that wasn't a prime example of what you can do without your slave masters? We provided all types of information and opportunity for people to, what y'all say, pick a side. When I say forget picking pick yourself. That's independence. Don't pick a side, pick yourself, because you are that one. As an individual, in the Constitution, we are the power of the people. Black Panther said all power to the people, not just black people, but all power to the people. We didn't say left. We didn't say right. People right now, they're gods. When God says, worshiping idols, people are worshiping these Democratic gods and Republican gods. Those are false idols.
Come on.
You should believe within the God in you. That's the independent part. That's what's going to lead you to independence. I ain't going to tell people to vote for Cornell or RFK. They know. People know. They have the information.
Do they, though?
Yes,
they have it. But see, they're not going to go seek out that information.
And you can't make them.
Right, because they don't feel inclusive in that party. And I said we have to be strong enough to make them feel a part of the independent
And the way
party.
to do that is to tell them the truth about the party that they're in.
Or involve them in certain events. And when I say that, because when you involve, it's like telling a kid, don't touch the stove, you'll get burned.
Right.
Eventually, he's gonna touch it, and he's gonna get burned. But that's his personal relationship he had, an experience that he had actually made
through
for
his
himself.
independence. He found out that shit was hot.
Right. So that's how we have to do something.
And that's what I'm doing. That's what I don't see why y'all don't see that. I'm telling them, Kamala's lying to y'all, or hey, the way Trump said this or whatever, y'all come on now, y'all know what's up with this. Killer Mike said it best. Kill your masters. Kill your masters. Focus on yourself. Focus on the power that this man right here didn't lean on. He did it himself. The last guy he had, Hustle DVDs. He did it himself.
So back to what we were saying in this whole thing, like when it comes to religion in the closing, like, do you feel with your business, and this is what I'm saying when it comes to religion and political views, do you try to be transparent on that too? Because if you're talking to a full-blown Republican trying to get his business, and you might be a Democrat, you might be independent, are you willing to share that information?
Yeah, I honestly I'm nothing when it comes to political stuff. So, Democratic, Republican, like I guess when y'all talking about independency, is like you don't vote for neither parties. I'm just
you're not voting for the majority.
The majority,
the popular vote.
Okay,
popular vote.
Yeah. So when it comes to that, I'm not really into politics, because like now one thing I like what you said, people I can't trust in people, like sometimes they could seem good, but then there's always something behind it, like so with that I am always upfront, but also too when I'm upfront, it's not like I'm like, I believe in God, I just be myself, like we talk about going back to yourself, being transparent in who you are. And that way too, I never face an issue with my faith with anybody.
You don't force feed them.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, because I learned that way because when I was in religion,
right?
Especially when you see Christianity and Muslim, it's almost Democratic and Republican.
Right. See.
And so and then a lot of times though, I'm gonna be transparent. The Muslim is more willing to sit and talk. The Christians is always the one. No, that's not what the Bible. That's not what the. That's
right.
So it goes into
combative.
So understanding both parts, almost like the Democrat and Republican.
You're independent.
So I can understand both parts, and I could be relatable.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm able to sit down with a Muslim. Or that's why I could say with the Republican business owner, I could come in with them because, like I said, basically I'm independent. So
because some people won't even sit down with a
Exactly.
Republican just because I'm a blue.
Exactly.
It is Democrats and Republicans.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
A lot of people don't know though, the Democratic Party is the one that enslaved you.
There we go. Yep, come on with it.
So a lot of people don't know. So honestly, all this stuff we talking about, like in order to feed people, is so right now what we in, because like y'all was saying how I think you said something about being in a free era or something like that. You was talking about. So it's the mindset. A lot of people I study PTSD, post traumatic slave disorder.
Yep.
So a lot of our people still have the residue of that slavery impact on them. So they don't know how to break free from that.
Got you.
So you have to break free from that so you could be able to think and see yourself. It's like the Bible when a guy who was like, I could see men as he could see, but he could see men as trees, and then he had to see it again, and he was like, oh, now I can see them clearly.
Right.
So we gotta, like you said, you can't force feed, but you got to give them, because a lot of people don't want to do the research. They're on their own.
They're
so
they got AI. AI and artificial intelligence to do that.
And people don't even do that. Like you said,
and
even when y'all talk about the reading stuff, people don't. You gotta read yourself. The Bible says, "Study to show thyself approved." My people perish for a lack of what? Knowledge.
Let's go.
So you got to study you got to study yourself so you could break that mindset, and then you'll learn on your own. Like, oh snap, this ain't it. This ain't. I need to think. Right. So we can learn to come together. And my goal is for us to come together. Put your religions to the side. Put your political parties to the side, and let's get to the baby steps. Let's learn to come together as a unity. Because in this country, especially the Black community, we have $1.2 trillion of spending power.
Definitely.
So we're not poor. Again, right? And we're the number one consumers.
Yes.
It's what? Again, it goes back to the mindset, the way we think. We'd rather go buy a Gucci bag instead of coming to the clean cut store and getting a bag from y'all.
Right. That's real.
Right.
But we'll go buy, and then we complain too. Man, I went down to Clean Cuts to get a bag. That's $1,000. But then you go down to Louis, no problem.
Exactly.
So it's really a mindset, and I do mindset coaching. So if we understand this stuff, and if we can help our people just break from that and unite, put your differences to the side and unite together, we could be a part. We don't have to wait for reparations.
No.
We have it.
Right.
We have it.
We have the reparations money right now.
We have it.
With all the what we do.
So
this is good.
So let's close this. What do you see as the biggest opportunities and challenges in the future of social media management and personal branding, and how do you plan to adapt and innovate your own work to stay ahead?
Yeah, so what I see, the biggest opportunity is opportunity itself, knowing that this industry ain't going nowhere. They said by 2030 it's going to be up to like $20 trillion. Oh,
God.
So like me jumping in it now, like I said, our business is we 3 months into this thing, and the way our phone ring right now is just like ridiculous. So I think, knowing that the opportunity is always going to be there and it's growing, it's growth potential, and it's not saturated right now. But the challenges I see is, people, a trend to jump on. People going to start their own social media businesses or agencies just to jump on the trend. They're not even into it.
Right.
So in order for me to stay ahead, I just like to build a relationship with the clients, be transparent, show them, tell them, always. So for a brand building, I tell them, you are the brand. You are the content. So when you realize it's you are the trendsetter. So you know how we said trends always change.
Right.
Why not you be the trendsetter? You make a trend. And that's by being your authentic self. And that's going to transition over in your business into the if you got people, employees, it's going to transition over. So you got to realize you are the brand, you are your business, and you are the content.
Nice, man. I do like this one. But yeah, man. So, I'm going to go ahead and close this out.
Yes,
well,
sir.
like I said, we appreciate you coming on here, Rayshawon, and telling us a little about yourself and about your business and just your overall insight on religion and social media.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I'm your host, Josh Lovett, with my co-host,
Royce Massingill, baby.
And we are out. Do you want to share your story? Well, join us at Clean Cut Conversations. Let's talk mental health, relationships, finance, self-care, and entrepreneurship. Your voice matters, so let's make a difference together.